So you're tired of debt eating up your paycheck and you finally decided to do something about it. This is music to my ears because I love a good debt payoff plan. The problem is that most people just start adding extra money to their monthly payments and think they're all good to go when it comes to paying off their debt. When in reality, they might be significantly slowing down their progress and costing themselves a lot of unnecessary money in interest, and also increasing the likelihood that they are eventually going to just flat out give up on the process. Which is why today I'm going to use this video to highlight 8 mistakes to avoid when paying off your debt so you can save time, money, and your sanity. Hey dreamers, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiana Clewis, executive pastor, money coach, and co-founder of a multi-million-dollar consulting firm. I've made it my mission to help women align finance and business with ministry so that they can live out their kingdom purpose. Bottom line, if you are finding that your coins are becoming a roadblock to you stepping into your business, ministry, or nonprofit on a full-time basis like I have, well, come and hang out with me. I've got some tips, some tricks, and some biblical strategies that are going to help you make that shift. Now that you know who in the world I am and what we have going on around here, let's go ahead and hop into the video. Mistake number 1, splitting money between savings or multiple debts. One of the most common things that I see people do when they're trying to pay off their debt is tackling 3 or 4 of those debts at the same time, or they may try to grow their savings account at the same time that they're trying to pay off the debt. This almost never works well because most people simply don't have enough extra money to make big dents in all of their debts at once or to pay off debt and save. If you only have, say, $200 a month available to put in addition on your debts, then splitting it between 4 debts at $50 each is just going to frustrate you and slow down your progress, which is one of the reasons why people will often get fed up and quit because they just don't see the needle moving anywhere. Instead, I want you to focus all that financial power on one debt at a time and don't worry about saving money. Once that first debt is paid off, then I want you to add that money to the next debt on your list, pay it down, repeating the cycle until you're completely out of debt. Then you can start worrying about saving again. Mistake number 2, ignoring loans in forbearance or in deferment. If I ask a new client to give me a list of all of their debts, they will often ignore loans that are deferred or that are in a forbearance status. I hate that word. This is a mistake because those loans still exist and they do eventually need to be paid back. So we need to add them to our list of debts to pay off. This is especially important for loans that are in forbearance because those loans are still accruing interest actively. That means every day that you ignore the loan, more interest is being added to the balance, growing your total debt when you're in the moment trying to pay it down. So even if you make these loans the last ones on your list, they always need to be added, even if they're deferred or in forbearance status. Add them to your list and start paying them down when you get to them. Mistake number 3, ignoring interest rates on your debts. If you've followed me for any amount of time, you know that I favor the debt snowball over the debt avalanche method for paying off debts. The debt snowball method pays off debts in order of principal balance from smallest to largest, while the debt avalanche pays them off in order of interest rate from highest to lowest. Mathematically, the debt avalanche will save you more money in interest, but the debt snowball often works for people psychologically because your smallest debts get knocked off the list faster. And, well, frankly, who doesn't love fast wins? However, there are times when you may have debts with, say, similar balances, but they have wildly different interest rates. For example, you may have a credit card with a balance of $2,000 and a 12% interest rate, and another card with a balance of like $2,200 and a 26% interest rate. Since the debts are only like a couple of $100s apart, I will go with the debt with a significantly higher interest rate first to save that interest money. And because the balances are pretty close in amount, the delay in that next payoff is only about a month or 2 depending on how much extra money you're putting on the debt. So the psychological benefits still apply. So yeah, go ahead and use the debt snowball method. But if you find 2 debts where they have very close balances and wildly different interest rates, go ahead and skew towards that higher interest rate debt first, and then you can go back to following the snowball. Mistake number 4, paying off debt with leftover money. So you decide that you're going to put an extra $150 per month on your debts at the end of the month. And if you have a little bit more than that $150 in your account, you might just go ahead and add that too. Sounds great, right? But the problem is you go and live your life, you get to the end of the month, and there's a whopping $80 left to put on the debt. Yeah, oops. Well, hey, we've all done it, so no need to dwell on it. Let's just go ahead and fix the problem. Instead of paying off the debt at the end of the month, I want you to pay it down with every single paycheck. So if you're paid bi-weekly, for example, you're gonna pay $75 per paycheck to knock out the debt using either auto pay, calendar invites, or alarm reminders on your phone. This way, your payment on your debt comes out the same day that you get paid, removing the risk that you are accidentally going to spend the money on, say, brunch with the girls. Hey ladies, I'm in here with a quick inside tip. Did you know that roughly 95% of the people who are watching this video right now aren't even subscribed to the channel? That means that YouTube doesn't even realize just how much value is being brought onto this channel by me and, the Holy Spirit. So go ahead, tap that good old like button so that the word can be spread, so that more people can get the financial help that they need to do what it is that God has called them to do in the kingdom. So yeah, help me, help you, and let's help the rest of our community. Mistake number 5, being afraid to negotiate with creditors. So let's say that you have a loan or say a balance on a credit card that you plan to pay off and then close. Well, it is possible that you can save some money by negotiating a lower payoff amount, a lower interest rate, or even a lower monthly payment on the debt. This is especially useful for debts that you haven't paid in quite some time that are negatively impacting your credit score, because creditors are often happy to get at least some of the money that they were promised when they previously thought and honestly already accounted for the fact that they're probably only going to get zero. Now, I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about that one here because I did record an entire video about this particular strategy last year. So go ahead and check out that video if you need to, but I'm going to just move on to the next mistake. Mistake number 6. Focusing on cutting expenses over growing your income. Since most people are living paycheck to paycheck in America, the reality is that you are probably only going to find a couple of $100s per month in your budget to add to paying off the debt. And that's only if you pull a bit of money from like 5, 6, 7 different budget categories. Well, once you pull all you can out of your expenses, that's it. You're done. You can't pull any more money. And the problem is that some people stop there when they should be shifting their attention at that point to just making more money. Look, even if it's just on a short-term basis to speed up the debt payoff process, making more money is just faster. Why? Because there isn't a cap on how much money you make, even if psychologically you think that there is. From getting a side hustle like making deliveries or house cleaning or, babysitting, making a product to sell online, getting a second job, playing with short-term investment, learning how to do like simple real estate deals, or writing for online blogs and newspapers, or on and on and on and on. There are so many ways to make more money if you look for them that there's kind of no excuse not to. There are literally hundreds of blogs, social media pages, and YouTube channels that will tell you how to make more money even if you have limited time. So do your research. Find one that fits your schedule and income needs and go make some more money. Mistake number 7, not monitoring your spending. Now, this one I almost deleted because it makes me think of the times that I totally screwed up with my money by doing this, but I'm gonna put on my big girl panties and we just gonna have this conversation, all right? So look, when you're trying to pay off debt, the one thing that you absolutely cannot do is make more debt. But so many of us kind of just spend our money blindly without paying attention to what we're doing. And most will glance at the bank account or the credit card available balance to see if we have enough money, and then we'll just keep on spending. And even though we know that this is probably how we got into debt in the first place, we just continue the same behavior while paying off the debt. And oftentimes this leads to unintentionally overspending, and that overspending creates new debt at the same rate or even faster than we're trying to pay it off. So before you start your debt repayment plan, I want you to make sure that you actually have a plan in place for managing your spending. You may want to use the envelope method. You might want to use a spreadsheet. You may even use a money management app like Monarch Money. Referral link included in the description for a 30-day free trial, or something else. Ultimately, you just have to have a system that you use to plan out and track your spending so that you don't keep creating new debt while trying to pay off the old, because again, it's not gonna work and you're gonna quit. And mistake number 8, quitting instead of asking for help. Okay, I know that we are all strong, independent women who think that we should be able to just figure it out and make it work. But sometimes human limitations actually kick in and remind us that we can't do everything. For some people, managing money is just hard and overwhelming. And that doesn't make you a failure at life. It just means you haven't found a system that really works for you, your family dynamics, and how your mind works. So instead of quitting because it doesn't seem to be working, I want to encourage you to reach out for help if you're struggling with eliminating your debt. Whether you find a friend who you know is great with money, a family member who's had success, a ministry at your church designed to help, a support group on Facebook, or a money coach like myself, get the help that you need so that you don't have to stay frustrated by the debt payoff process. I want you to allow someone who is comfortable, confident, and competent with money help you craft a system that finally works for you. In fact, if you want to reach out to me, you absolutely can do so. Just go to www.tianabclewis.com/breakthrough and schedule a free 30-minute session to tackle the issue. Whether we decide to work together in the long term or not, I know that you're going to come out of our session with more clarity, more direction, and better executable steps than you came in with. So hey, you've nothing to lose. And there you go, 8 mistakes to avoid when you are paying off your debt. I know that this list was not absolutely every mistake you can make, but these are the ones that I see the most and I hope to stop seeing in the future. But hey, what are your thoughts? What have you seen? Do you have any mistakes to add, or do you relate to some of these mistakes that I talked about in this video? It's okay if you're traumatized too. I know that I am. Once you finished up in the comments, don't forget to let me know that you found this video useful by hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing to my channel by clicking the big red button below. Be sure to hit the bell so that you're notified each week when I drop brand new money tips and biblical strategies to help you break through your financial barriers so that you can finally step big, bad, and boldly into your God-given calling on a full-time basis, just like I have. So with that, I'm going to get back to work and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.